Hi, welcome to this PGR video. So, we are going to be going over Wuwa players should be playing PGR. Why? Well, firstly, combat. Combat, so amazing in this game. I think, even though Wuthering Waves is a lot different to PGR in terms of gameplay, you should probably give it a shot. It's just different, but also the feeling of the gameplay in itself, the flashiness, the speed and pace of it, and also like the amount of combos you need to remember in your head. Very satisfying to complete and pull off, especially the amount of bosses we have in this game. This game's been out for quite a few years now. It's racked up quite a lot of bosses, lots of fun bosses. Obviously some earlier bosses were kind of boring, but lots of really fun bosses nowadays. And yeah, if you love any action-packed game, I believe this game has it all. Now, there are other things why I really like this game as well, so in terms of just like the music or the amount of content that we actually get per patch, and even just permanent game stuff as well. There's a nice little guild system. The grind is actually really cool. I actually really like the grind of this game. It's a very slow burn, which I really prefer in terms of progression. Its story does pick up quite a bit after a couple chapters. It is a little bit of a slow burner, but trust me, even though I haven't finished the story up to the latest bit, I'm like 5 chapters behind or something. It is an amazing story with amazing music, with amazing cutscenes, all in one. It's just so good that it's worth to actually invest your time in if you're just looking for another gacha game to play. Now, with that being said, I will be going over the gameplay, the music, obviously the game mechanics itself, characters, skins, gacha, top-up systems, so on and so forth, the grind, pretty much all laid down in chapters for you guys. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll go on the first section of gameplay. Okay, so we're gonna be going over gameplay. So, gameplay in this game is actually really fun. I can't really explain it until you kind of try it, but also you can't really try it out at the beginning of the game because you'll be starting with starter characters. Those starter characters are essentially like way more basic in terms of the fact that they kind of just do the very simple stuff. So essentially they'll have different pings, a yellow, a red, and wherever my blue one is, right? So essentially they'll just have those pings. Eventually you'll get to characters like Karenina, where she's also actually very simple, which you just click and then you spin. And that's quite literally it. You click and spin and eventually do your ult, right? Or you get to characters like Crimson Weave, which I'll show in a second, where you kinda do a bunch of different combinations at once, right? And you just do whatever you pretty much get taught by or self-learn. But yeah, so it can come very complicated because I'm pretty sure I can't like teach someone how to play Crimson Weave. I wouldn't be able to. Like, I'm sure eventually I would, but I can't like explain it and articulate it to the right amount of words. I can't even do this properly, in all honesty. But yeah, so in terms of gameplay, very complicated, and you obviously have 3 characters in your team. That means you have to be rotating through your team a lot. So generally, this is actually not a meta team at all. This is just a nice team that I want to show over. So pretty much you'll be rotating through your team by doing your QTs and so on and so forth, right? So you're gonna be doing your ults, you're gonna be rotating. Oh, he died. So there he is. But yeah, you're just gonna keep rotating, do your moves, and then just ult again. Next character, do your QTs, do whatever you need to do, and then pretty much that's like how this base game works. Obviously, you're not gonna be fighting this little shit where he just does nothing and gets like flinched by everything, right? You will be actually fighting true bosses where you kind of have to be dodging against and you might die against, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's really it. As you can see, it's very flashy. Probably more flashy than Wuthering Waves at the moment. I'm sure Wuthering Waves will get even more flashier later on. It already is pretty flashy as it is. But PGR is 100% way more flashy than Wuthering Waves. If you really like flashy games, then, well, PGR might be it for you. The pace is also a lot faster. It's way faster because you need to do combos way faster. Right? So you need to be thinking like, what am I supposed to be doing with this character? Okay, I need to dodge here, need to blah blah blah, so on and so forth, and then do this combo, so on and so forth. It's kind of similar to Wuthering Waves in that fact, right? But obviously it's not. The speed is way different. Way different. It's so much different. And again, particles everywhere. So if you love particles, and if you love seeing a lot of cutscenes, there you go. That's pretty much it for you. Obviously, I'm gonna be doing like a little gameplay demonstration after this with a proper team. I'll probably be doing it with the new Dark team at the moment. So yeah, I will move on to that. Alright, so I'm gonna be going over the gameplay demonstration. We're gonna be using the new boss of this patch, which is the Lamina patch. So firstly, I'm gonna be using my Lightning team, and then I'll use my Dark team. Since these runs are gonna be really short, since this actual like boss is pretty easy to do. Oh, sorry, this game mode is pretty easy to do. This is just gonna be literally a combination gameplay, I guess, loop type thing. I'm gonna be going over that. You can see, very flashy. Probably don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even barely know what I'm doing. I kind of just used to it. So yeah, it's a thing where you kind of just get used to it eventually. And oh god. Okay. See, I didn't even know what that move was, but you can't do anything in there besides dodge. And we're gonna keep going with our rotation. We're gonna keep going with our QTEs, and we're gonna go back to number 21 here. And then finish off my combo here. And then do my little flow thing into ult. And this may perhaps just kill. And it did. So yeah, lovely cutscenes, lovely particles, very smooth gameplay. All in all, this is why I love this game. This is what's the reason that makes me keep playing this game, because of the gameplay, realistically, right? So we're gonna be looking at the Dark team now. Now the Dark team is quite more simple than a Lightning team currently, like quite a bit. And obviously because of, well, I've already shown you, Karenina kind of just you just click, right? That's why literally her character. You hold, click, and then ult. That is her gameplay loop. And gameplay loop is probably the most simple in this game. And I don't know why they didn't Matrix, but you know what? That's fine. Yeah, it's just, you know, just clicking, ulting, and then you go to the next character. Lamina here is a little bit more favorable, except my Lamina is only S rank, so I actually kind of don't know what her SS3 actually does, but this is kind of fun. Going through that, and then I have to swim, getting my ult off, switching to Selena really quickly, hopefully dodging something, maybe not. Just go back to Karenina, because I didn't dodge anything for some reason. And we'll just do our little spinning thing while we wait for Lamina. Lamina's almost up, so that means I do 1 or 2 auto attacks and then switch to Lamina. Unfortunately, we couldn't see Selena's ult here, but it's alright. We can do one of these, and then we're gonna do one of these, and then we're gonna ult, and we're just gonna spam this. Gonna spam the orbs, and then use our ult. And then there you go, done. A lot more simpler of a team, so it can vary depending on the skill ranges. Obviously, it depends on the boss as well. There are a lot of iframes in this game, but also you need to utilize those iframes depending on the attacks. And yeah, realistically, overall, you kind of just get used to the game and learn the game. That's really it. This is like really easy. Things could get way harder in this game. Like there are game modes like Norman where things can pretty much just one-shot you, and you have to have enough damage as well. So, you know, there's stuff like that, which I'll actually be doing gameplay for Norman anyways, and I'll be dying over and over again as this video progresses, because there's gonna be other stuff that I'm gonna be going through. So yeah, now we'll keep going to the next section. Alright, so music. I'm gonna be using a very dramatic music that I won't say which chapters this comes from because I don't want to spoil. But anyways, you can listen to it while you can listen to my soothing voice totally, 100%. But yeah, no, I'm no music major or anything. I can't barely play an instrument, I'll be honest. But the music in this game is actually really cool. I think the music in this game is actually definitely the best in the gacha genre so far. I would put like up there is like Arknights, really good. Nikkei is also pretty cool. And then Star Rail is quite actually really up there. Star Rail's very up there. But PGR just reaches me way harder than any other game at the moment. Obviously, Wuthering, right? Wuthering's getting there. 1.1 was amazing. Actually really good music in 1.1. I really wish they would use Vanguard Sounds a little bit more, because that is what PGR is using at the moment for most of their songs. Vanguard Sounds is a awesome publisher with different musicians and everything like that. They're so cool. Whatever they put out in any game that I feel like has been really good. So they've done Girls Frontline. I believe there's one more other game, Neural Cloud, and then obviously PGR. I think they do a couple other games as well. But yeah, listen to any of the songs in pretty much any of those games. They are awesome. PGR especially, which feels like it really has a theme per chapter, and whoever is doing the music through Vanguard Sounds, or maybe not through Vanguard Sounds, and gets incorporated to the chapter or the boss or the whatever, very much feels empowering, or you feel an emotion whenever you're like doing your fight. And including with the gameplay and like, you know, the gameplay loop in itself feels just phenomenal. I think that's why PGR is really, really up there when you do your combat and everything, because of the fact that the music emphasizes it more. Again, not a music major, so I have no fucking idea if this is how it truly will work. But I feel like for most people, emotions in music is the best thing, right? It really brings out the music. That's what I feel anyways. But yeah, you can listen to anything from Vanguard Sounds, and I assure you, you will like it. Obviously, not everything is banger, but a lot of their songs, especially in PGR, amazing. And I really hope Wuthering Waves really uses it, but there's one Vanguard Sounds, which I think is called Flow, but it's alright. Anyways, yeah, music, that's phenomenal. Off with my rambling, we're gonna go to the next section, which is gonna be the gameplay stuff, like what game modes are there, how many game modes are there, what's the endgame like, so on and so forth. Yeah, we're gonna go into that next. Alright, I'm gonna be going over the events in this game. So obviously when you start the game, you'll be doing your main story, and you'll just go through here, doing your main story, using your stamina and what you can. But if you get bored, there are plenty of events that actually don't use stamina. Though I'm going to be going over all events, and I'll tell you which one does not use stamina anyways. So yeah, if you go into your battle and go to your limited events, each patch will have these two events. So this one, which will be actually getting to your event shop. So each time you do this, you would need to go into battle, or eventually you'll get auto clear as well once you get to level 25. But for now, new patch, so I'm going to do battle. And pretty much you would just kill the enemies on field. Well, I'll ult here. And then, yeah, you get the rewards. So reward, 1x. You can do it up to 8 of them each time, so that means 8 times 30. I can't think, but yeah. Sorry, my bad. I can't think. But you can have quite a bit of them, and you just do it at the same time, and just kill all of them. So this event will drop you some materials, which is really important. And also some memories, and version limited memories, which is specifically for Lamina, which is very cool. But I'm not going to be going over that until the character section anyways. And then they're going to have Secret's Voyage, which for this is going to be the tutorial of Lamina. You will have a tutorial for the character whenever a character releases, which is every single patch anyways. And then also sometimes when we get a new boss, which I just did before, you will be versing the new boss in 5 stages. So it gets harder and harder progressively, but obviously you saw I did the final stage and it was quite easy, but that's because my characters are really, really whaled and also buffed up. So yeah. Now, there are other stuff, obviously, like carrying the story, there is a summer memoir, there is whatever this thing is, which I don't usually do, and Guild Expedition, and Ice Queen Lulu. There are casual events and 2 hardcore events, so right now all of them are casual events at the moment, or events that pretty much like most people can do, but there are events for people that have really, really high rated teams. So if you go into the calendar here, the Babel Tower is actually an endgame mode, which actually starts tomorrow. This is also a really nice way to see what events are starting for this week, so you can really easily see here, like the calendar, and it's actually kind of a useful tool if you want to know what events to do. So yeah, that's events. I haven't gotten to the permanent game modes yet. So there are Clash Reflection, Warzone, Pain Cage, and Norman. So Norman, essentially you would need multiple teams to clear out all these zones here. As you can see here, we go here, and we go battle prep. So you can see 2 teams here, some buffs you can do, so on and so forth. You can read that later on when you start playing the game, and also trial characters of A rank characters. S rank at the moment, but yeah, they're A rank characters. But actually, unlike Tower, you need 6 teams. So have fun with that. Once you grind it enough in this game mode, in the game, you will eventually get enough teams to just go through it and kill the final boss. So yeah, there's rewards here, which I'll talk about the rewards later on anyways. All these rewards you should be doing even if you're not in endgame, because of the fact that it's actually quite easy enough for the lower levels. So that, and also you get nice currency from it anyways. Should just be doing it. Just do it. Just do it when you can. Unlike me. Now, Pain Cage. Pain Cage is essentially a mode where you do things as fast as possible. So let's say, well, these are outliers, so this doesn't really matter, but like, let's just do it as an example for like this dark theme, right? So we're just gonna be doing this. Let's just say this is a Pain Cage I'm doing, right? So you're gonna be fighting a boss. It's a really old boss. I think this is one of the first bosses, honestly. So you're gonna be doing it as fast as possible. Be doing this. Gonna be spinning to win here with Karenina. And going over to Lamina. Which I'll be doing that. This. Spam, 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 spam. And dead. Okay. Once you finish this, you get a score line. Which, cutscene. Oh, Lamina. So yeah, you get a score line, and see here, I did good. Or actually, I didn't get the highest, which is kind of disgusting, but oh, well, it's fine. So you just save the score, and then that's your score. So I can't do these ones because I've already finished them, but essentially these are my scores for this. And then there's a ranking system, which I'm like top 3%, which I can't, I don't know, man. These guys are not in my league. They're too much whale. But yeah, that is a whale fest. Which, this is also a whale fest. By the way, you should be doing your Pain Cage. I'll be explaining later why. Same with Warzone, please do it. Warzone's essentially just doing waves, so I'll do an example here. Let's go in again. We're not going to be doing the whole thing, but essentially you have 2 minutes to kill as many enemies as possible. They mean in waves. Sometimes singular enemies, sometimes they're grouped enemies, sometimes they're duo enemies, duoed enemies. In this case, it's multiple enemies. So it's mean elite and some mobs. So let's go over like this. So waves 3. I'm not going to be doing the whole thing. Essentially just going through waves, right? Sorry if Karenina was too loud. Man, that freaking thing was very loud. And then there's Clash Reflection, which basically you would need to just kill them, and then you go next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, next one, and then next. You can only use one team, by the way. And you also have to clear these stages between 120 seconds. So once it reaches stage 10, if you do it, if you do this by 120 seconds here, 120 seconds here, you'll get to the next stage, and then 120 seconds, and the next stage, 120 seconds, and the next stage, and then that's the last stage. But yeah, all these have good rewards. Just do them, you'll get rewards, you get endgame stuff, and then with those endgame stuff, you can build your characters even further, meaning you get even more endgame stuff, and then more black cards, and more whatever's, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. So really, really good there. Plenty of events to do. Actually, I also missed some events. Sorry, not events. Permanent game modes. So there's other permanent game modes here, which are Memory Rescue. Don't really need to do that. Or you should probably. Stronghold, you should probably be doing. I don't really do it. Mindscape, which is actually really important. So these will upgrade your skills. This first one. And you can just do them straight out the bat. This one does extra damage when you hypertune your characters, which you will do eventually when you max your characters, because it will give you 6% total, which I believe. It's not huge, but it's still kind of there. And then Golden Vortex, which is also a game mode that I don't really want to do, but if you want to do it, please do it, because it does give you rewards anyways. And then these are the roguelites, which is really, really fun. The most important one you should be doing is the very first one, which is going to be a free Selena, which is amazing, because a free Selena means you get like the best dark amplifier in the game. so far, so that's really good to do. And the other ones just give you, you know, the event constructs, which is really good as well. But yeah, that's all in all, that's pretty much all the like end game slash event stuff you can do. Events, very important, very casual friendly. You don't need to have a built team and everything. Those are really easy outside of like 1 or 2 events in a patch. Some events are very challenging, which you probably should still try because they will give you rewards anyways, but don't be too fussed if you don't complete it. And then the weeklies, which is going to be Warzone and Paint Cage, do it as much as possible because you'll be getting good rewards out of them, and I'll be talking about the rewards later. And Norman and Clash Reflection are bi-weekly, so do that as well because of the fact that they, again, give rewards that you need in the endgame anyways. So yeah, in terms of content, plenty of content. So much content you can do in this game. Maybe a little bit too much and might be too overwhelming, but just take your time, get used to the grind of this game. It's way more than Wuthering Waves has to offer at the moment in terms of like base content after exploration. Obviously there's no exploration in this game, so it's like slightly different, but in terms of like a week-to-week basis, PGR will probably give you a little bit more content than Wuthering Waves will, I'd imagine, anyways, because I do spend more time in PGR than Wuthering Waves. But yeah, so we'll go to the next section, which I believe I'm going to be talking about the characters themselves. Okay, I completely lied. Sorry. There is actually one thing I forgot to do in this video, which is the guild. So, guild, join a guild, random guild, doesn't really matter. If they're active, just stay active and play the game. So firstly in this guild, there's going to be the fortune machine, which you actually need to do for your daily so you can get some more serum and also some more gifts for your construct anyways. There are things in the guild you can do. So right now there's a guild expedition that only happens sometimes. Right now it's happening as of, what date is it today? The 1st of August. There you go. So there's that. And then there's also the thing that actually happens each week. So this is going to be part of your weeklies as well. You should be doing this. I was clicking the wrong button. So essentially you would be going through and doing your battles here. So essentially this is going to be a different type of battle where you can use trial characters to do it, and you don't need to be built at all. You can be using your own characters, but it has to be the specific characters of that day, of that week. So sometimes you can't use the characters that you have built already. Essentially, you just go through here. Things are super buff, things are different. You have a big shield, so you don't need to worry about dying. But you're just going to be like spamming your orbs and everything. That's probably not a good example, but let's just go to like Bianca here, alright? You're just going to be spamming your skills. And it's doing your ult in a rotation. See, this is what you should almost never do in Bianca, where you ult early. Because you get so many skills that I just go back into here, and then, you know, so yeah, you get a couple buffs, just depending on what's going on. And you can choose them, so on and so forth. I'm not going to explain too much, but basically you should be doing that each and every single time. You should be doing this middle one of these outer ones, and then just try to get as many points as possible. If you get 500, you get a couple of guild coins, which you can actually use in another shop, which I'll explain later on anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the guild. It's just a little battle thing. Whatever this little chibi area is, and also very important to do the fortune machine, which actually gives you more serum, so it's very much advised to join a guild because it gives you slightly more rewards. Also the expedition that happens sometimes. So yeah, we'll go to the characters now. Characters, how to upgrade them, where to get the resources from, everything like that. So first things first, we go to the evolve. This is going to be your fragments. So the only way to get fragments is to do Paint Cage or do your gachas. So if you want more gachas, then yeah, go ahead, go do it, I guess. And then you can get it to SS rank, or SS3, or triple S rank, depending on what you need to really do. So yeah, wow, that's bugged. That's a hilarious bug. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, to get these fragments besides from Gacha is Paint Cage here. You go to challenge. It sometimes will show up in the 3 challenges at the side. But go to your shop, and then you get them there. So how you actually get these is either doing Paint Cage, or by playing Paint Cage, you go to your achievements, and you can get them by getting enough points in certain stuff. So let's say I need to do Alpha, and then I can get 25 more or whatever. Or I need to do Luna, and then I can get 25 more, right? pretty simple from there. So from S rank, you can get to SS rank with any S rank character. Okay, when you pull them once, you get SS rank guaranteed if you get full pain cage. Okay, very simple. So all your S characters or S rank characters should all be double S, 100% of the time. Okay, now let us go to the training. Just level up. Let's just go to characters on the level. Let's just go to OG Lucia here. Train them. So on and so forth. EXP. Right. Now promotion gives you bonus stats. So let's just say if I level her up to 30. Get to do this. And you get bonus stats. Skills. Very simple. Max all these out as much as you can. They all use this thing here, which you will be getting from the shop. Or, sorry, from the event shop, which it doesn't say for some reason, which is really bad. Now let's go back to the members here. Next one, Awaken. So, when you do these things, you'll get different skins for your characters. Additionally to these different skins, you actually get some bonuses. So, this one, you get 3 signal orbs at the start of battle, which is very, very important. This, you get to choose these signal orbs at the start of battle as well. But this one is very late game, and you shouldn't be doing this one. I'll explain what Hypertune is in a bit. But Hypertune is very hard to get on 12, and you shouldn't be really doing it because you want to get Hypertune 3 on most of your characters anyways. Sorry, 3, 6 on your characters anyways, not 12. Because of some certain things. So, like, dark units or any elements except for physical doesn't need crit. And I'll show you in a bit why. I'll show you in, like, a bit over down here. But we'll go to the weapons first anyways. So weapons, obviously all of them give crit, which does suck. But everything gives crit, doesn't really matter. So weapon resonance A noise gives you basically bonus stuff out of it. So let's just say you want to swap a resonance, they give bonus stuff. Again, just give me a link down below and also on the screen at some point where you should be going on a PGR website to see which resonances you need on your characters, because they're very, very important. And the only ways to actually get these is actually either getting a 6-star weapon or getting this item here, which you can go in the shop, and you can go to exchange shop, and you can go to weapon resonance exchange, I can't say words, and then getting 150 of these, which can be only got from Norman or voucher exchanges, and sometimes you can actually get them from some events as well, but that's a little bit more rare. And also you can get from the top up. So one of the top ups, I believe, has it. Which, this is whaling, so if you're not gonna whale, do not do it. But yeah, there it is. So this one right here. And yeah, that's really it for the weapons. Not too much. Upgrading a weapon is very simple. You use some resources, so let's say, like, let's just go to my Nanami on a Lightning Spark, and then Enhance. Very simple, 45 is the max, and then you just use this one amount. You get these ones from event shops as well, which is very simple. Next is the Cub. So let's get a character with a Cub. Okay, so Isla here has Rainbow as a Cub, which I actually didn't know that was the name. So a Cub will give you bonus damages, an active, and a character-specific active as well, passive as well. So active, this one I think just gives damage to enemies. Some of them group, some of them do other stuff, but I'm not gonna really go into that now. The other stuff here gives ice damage, and also this one gives damage additionally to when you do something. So generally that's the... if you're on character Cub, generally you'll have a pass specifically for that character. And upgrading them, very simple. EXP. Oops, I was not meant to swap. There you go. EXP, get that to 10, and then you just need... I did it again. You just need these resources here. And yeah, that's pretty much it from there. Swap it back. There we go. Now, last but not least, and probably the most important bit, is your gear. So, if you're familiar with Snowbreak, which is like the other game that I like to do videos on, you are very familiar with this. Because of the fact that it's very character specific, and also you get it from events. So on the events, when a patch comes out, that event will have a certain type of, what do you call these? Memories. There you go. And those memories will actually be on the character. There's no doubt about it, that'll be the best in slot. You can't argue at all. And then there's gonna be 2 other ones, which is reminiscent from Star Rail, that will be additional. So usually they'll be like additional damage to your element, or sometimes reduce the amount of ult energy or whatever, something like that. But yeah, those are pretty important. And the next bit is actually resonances, which is gonna be the same thing as the weapon one. Basically, you would need the same type of resonance, so like this, to get a random skill, which is not that great, but you might get the skill that you need. Or, whoops, how do you back out of this? Or you can use an item to select the one that you need. And again, that website will tell you everything that you need. Actually, I don't even know if I linked it yet, but there will be a link of that website that I will be posting, because that website is very important for your character builds and everything. Whatever that PGR website is. And the next is hypertuning. So hypertuning will allow you to get more HP and crit, or more attack and defense. So when I talked about the elements, right? The elements of these characters, none of them use crit besides physical. So when you're trying to hypertune a character, for Bianca here, which is physical, you want to hypertune both to 12, just because it gives you crit and attack. Very important for a physical character. But all elemental characters do not crit, so you don't need to do hypertune here. Instead, what you can do, like my Lamina, is just hypertune the bottom. I accidentally did that one, but the bottom only, it gives attack, which is very important. And you don't really need HP. HP is not too important in this game. It's negligible in the fact of like you'll just get one shot anyways. So yeah, I'm having a lot of misspeaks. I'm very tired now, sorry. But that's really it for the characters. So yeah, we'll go to the shop now and we'll scroll through that and go on forward from there. Ah, I forgot one last thing. Okay, so in addition to elements, there are different character types in this game. So there's a healer, amplifier, and attacker and tank. So healer amplifiers are kind of the same thing. Healers are an outdated version of amplifiers. Amplifiers nowadays does damage, and also in addition to the fact that buffs your allies and also heals your allies. So healer nowadays is pretty much the same thing as an amplifier, so don't worry about that. So pretty much there are only 3 classes, so amplifier, an attacker, and a tank. So what an attacker does is attack, right? So let's just go to the train here, let's go to the evolution effect, which I think is still wrong, and increase damage by 20.59%. So just bonus damage, very simple, right? Now let's go to tank like Karenina. So let's go to train here, let's go to skill, and let's go to common effect. There you go. So Karenina has an additional extra damage reduction by 21.18%. So that just basically means the enemy has less defense, right? That's really it. So that means more damage. So that's what tanks do. They actually shred. They're not actually really tanks. Most tanks do have like shields or something, but they do damage as well, so it doesn't really matter. Now let's go to Selena and go to train, go to skill, go to common effect. Now amplifiers also buff stuff, so attack and elemental damage bonus. So Selena will essentially do dark damage up and also attack up. So she can still affect like other characters that do different damages, but only dark damage gets the big buff, right? So try to like keep the same element on the same team, and then one of each thing, which is gonna be an attacker, a tank, and an amplifier. And that's pretty much it for this bit. Now let's actually go to shop. Okay, welcome to your best friend, which is the shop. Well, second best friend, just friend, because there's actually a better friend after this little thing. So shop, basically, you can buy things from here. I wouldn't recommend getting anything from the supply shop besides this maybe. You can get it if you want to. Early game, I'd suggest it if you don't have any endgame characters. Now this is for Norman, so if you do Norman, you get additional cub stuff. So essentially when you... Let's go to Norman really quickly. So essentially, you get a daily amount of ore of whatever percent, and it adds to this, and then pretty much each time you also clear this. So let's just do an auto clear. You'll get additional miners, and then you'll get also additional resources. And that's how you do that there. So that's what that shop is for. That shop is for cubs, specifically just to upgrade your cubs. Let's go back to shop. So not too important. This bit's like not entirely that important. It's good, but it's a slow burn. You'll notice that for the rest of this game. It's gonna be a very slow burn. Coatings, yeah, just get free stuff if you want it. Like, let's just say if I want this, then I'll get it, or if I want this from Garnet, I'll get it or something. I don't know. Free stuff, very nice. Rainbow card, more free stuff, except you have to use your monies. Blueprints, same thing. You get these things, right? Rainbow cards. This bit doesn't really matter. Here is actually kind of cool, but also not really. So if you have too much of one thing, you can exchange it. Kind of very similar to like any other gacha game at the moment, where you can exchange some stuff for pretty much a fee of losing that resource or one of that resource. Same with this one. This was the exact same thing. So this is just getting your more blueprints. Wow, I got another blueprint. And then I showed you this before, which you can only get from Norman and some events. And then leaps I don't want to get into too much, but essentially they upgrade your character quite a bit. So like if you get any of these characters and they have a leap, that means they get like a upgrade or like a buff, pretty much. A permanent buff. Oh, no, it's a permanent buff, yeah. A permanent buff because they're too weak nowadays. So all of those are really good as well. This is pretty much just a gacha portion. You don't need to know this bit. This one is pretty important. So these are also you can get from the event shop, and they will give you any of the sets that you need. So let's say if you needed like the pass set, let's say if you needed the, I believe this would be Crimson Weave set. So you can go there, buy what you need, and then do that, or buy the dupes to get resonances, right? 5-star shop, don't need that. Don't need this. This is don't need that. You can buy some of these though. These are kind of nice. These don't need that. If you have these, I guess, but also don't need that. These also doesn't matter. Just leave that. Paint Cage, we've already seen this before. Weapon Harmony is actually a little bit different. So Weapon Harmony, I didn't really mention too much because that's also like a really endgame thing. So let's just go here. I actually kind of forgot to mention that, but you know what? Now I'm saying it now. Very cool. So essentially you can get a different thing for your weapon. So an additional 2-piece set, which is kind of cool. That means a little bit more damage. Just a little bit more. Like a couple more % of damage. Which is kind of big in like a time-based thing, right? So, but that's very endgame, so you don't really need to know about that. What else is next? The War Shop. So this is for Warzone. This is the currency for Warzone. So the month reset, I'm gonna be grabbing a couple of these. Sometimes I grab like 150%, but you should be grabbing at least the first two, and you can get any of the stuff as well, but I wouldn't recommend using the Warzone for that. Just use the Warzone for this or Leap stuff. Uniframe, eh. And then this is the like event shop. So this is the bureau shop, which I should be doing like this for, right? Which if you do your guild, so this, oh, which I showed you before, which it's gonna hopefully go. Music lag there as well at the same time. So if you do this over and over again, you get like missions, and then you get these, and then yeah, you get more stuff. Get more resources, right? Wow, I'm such a great explainer. And last but not least, if I'm not missing anything, okay, so this is from your guild as well if you do simulated siege. So this is how you're going to be getting most of your Hypertune stuff. Very important, hell important to do this. This doesn't matter. These are for your guild. If you own a guild, these are good. If you don't, doesn't matter. Now, this is also something that you should be looking out for. So with these vouchers, which you can get from Battle Pass, you can get from events, and that's really it, I think. But like, Battle Pass and events, very easy to get these. These trade vouchers allow you to get some specific characters. So this is how you upgrade some of your amplifiers. So Alicia and Selena is upgradable from there. Now, older characters like Luminance, which is good for physical, except you have Alicia now, so don't get Luminance. And then also, what's her name? I forgot what her name is. But Rigger here is a physical shredder. And also Isla is another amplifier for ice, which is very important. The rest of these characters are very old, so don't get those. But yeah, any of these like Gen 2 plus... What is her name again? I am blanking. What's her name? Who? There you go, Rosetta. My bad. Yeah, any of those characters, including Rosetta, is very good to get. And yeah, that's really it. And there's this bit. Again, I wouldn't recommend using it. Only use it for your fragments so you can get your characters higher and higher and higher to triple S rank. So yeah, that's the shop, like the actual shop. Now we're gonna go to the event shop, which is gonna be for every single patch. So here are the things you need for the character for that patch. So if you roll, let's say, Lemon of this patch, then you grab this, which is very, very important. And same with the material shop. So if you have anything that you need, wow, my music just stopped, didn't it? If you have anything that you need that in terms of resource, go here. It's not going to tell you to go here, but go here, grab it, and just buy it. And also, make sure to grab everything you can with your resources, because it only gives you 1 day before the next patch, and it destroys everything. You'll get a mail saying, oh, all these resources are destroyed into cogs. And they're not very good conversion as well. Very bad conversion. You can also get different memories as well. But again, wouldn't recommend doing this. Just do the material and get the version limited stuff as well. Because, it's a bit cheaper. But yeah, it's up to you. Sometimes you have enough of these that you don't need to. So it's up to you, really. Now, one final thing for resources, actually, is when you do Gacha, you actually can get resources from it. So if you go to your inventory, so I probably have a lot of these. So let's go to items. I also have this, but we don't talk about this, okay? So if you go here, you see these? These came from Gacha. All of these came from Gacha. Ooh. Where is it? Oh yeah, some of these also come from Gacha, but also they can come from the event shop as well. So yeah, that's really it for the shop, and it's very, very important. Again, PGR is a very slow grind. It's a slow burn grind. You'll get more and more powerful the more you play. If you don't like a slow grind game, then maybe PGR isn't for you, but I love the gameplay, so slow grind is fine for me. I don't really mind. Grind is great, so yeah. But yeah, no, I think that's really it for this part of the video. So yeah, we'll go to the next thing. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the monetary value of this game. So like how they do skins, how they do their gacha, battle pass, so on and so forth. Really easy and simple. So battle pass, it's okay. It's not like that amazing. It's fine. I wouldn't personally get this, even if you support the game. It's not amazing. It's okay at best, right? It gives you additional resources, which you really don't need later on. Maybe you can buy like the first 2 of the 2 months you play in this game, or maybe 3. But eventually it'll wane out. It's just a pay to progress thing, right? Which it does its job. So yeah. Now, skins are a thing where I really like buying skins because it supports the company without giving me an advantage, even though except I do wail sometimes for characters, just especially in this game, to be better. So there's a difference there. But point still stands. If you really support the game through skins if you don't want to get that pay-to-win aspect, right? Which skins are really well done in this game. So in this patch, we have Karenina having an idol skin. And as you've seen in the gameplay before, it's actually really pretty, even though her gameplay is very simple. It's a very pretty skin, and yeah, I really like it. And the best thing of all, even though it's a gacha, you can actually use your own like currency. You don't have to buy currency from the shop. You can use your own BC, and it costs 10k BC to get the whole thing, the whole shebang. So you can get the weapon, you can get the skin, and also you get some little rewards as well. So you can get a little bit more event stuff, you can get some weapon stuff, you can get what do you call this? I don't really remember, the cub stuff. stuff, right? You can get a little bit of stuff out of it as well. Especially this is very important, but it's not really worth the 10k BC unless if you really want the character and the weapon, right? But yeah, there's gacha stuff like that. Though there is skins that's only paid for with rainbow cards, which is this thing here at the very top, which is gonna be the on-patch skins. Some do rerun eventually, but on-patch skins are generally about like $30 US, but The catch is you have to actually spend like $50 US to get the you go. I mean, a lot of gacha games do that, so I don't really mind at this point. But yeah, so coding. So weapon and the skins, very cool looking. You might have seen Selena's one before. I might be using her in I might have used her back in the video. But yeah, Selena's one is very cool as well. So do get those if you are willing to support the game but don't want to feel like you're pay to winning. I think that's like a really good thing to do, especially when this game doesn't really earn that much. So I'd much prefer people do spend on skins, of course, again, if you can't afford it. Now we'll go over the gacha. So I've said in my previous video about PGR where I really like the gacha of this game. It's a free-to-play like godsend, but the trap is obviously there is things like Warzone or Pain Cage, where you kind of have the ranking system, right? If you're a player like me that has a little bit of an ego or really just wants to have that like high percentage or whatever, blah blah blah, I tend to wail a little bit more in this game than any other game that I play. Even Snowbreak feels way more casual to me, right? But PGR has that slight competitive feel and it's very bad. Wuthering Waves doesn't really have that competitive feel to me. That's why I don't actually pay in that game except for Battle Pass and the daily thing, right? The daily welcome, whatever. I don't even know what you call it in that game. But yeah, so this game is very good for free to play. How the patches actually work is very interesting. So it's very cool. You go from an S rank character to an A rank to an S rank. So the A rank character you tend to just like skip completely. That means you get to save all the BC and all the event construct to be able to save for that next S rank character generally, right? You generally can save a character after one patch, which is really, really cool. And also, if there is two S-rank characters next to each other, you actually get one of them for free. So generally, so far, no, not generally, so far it's only been amplifiers. So the last amplifier that was free is Alicia Echo. So she was completely free last patch because of an anniversary event as well. And she's an amazing amplifier, a physical amplifier. She does the job really, really well. And Selena is also for free, but she's also permanent free, which is really cool. And obviously these characters you can get from the shop as well, which makes this game even more free to play because that means you could skip that banner and then get the next S-rank banner, right? Obviously it helps if you have the monthly pack, the monthly pass. If you want to get more stamina as well, you can do this. Oh wait, is this one? Oh crap, wait. Yeah, no, this one, yes. If you want to get more stamina as well. But you don't really need to. All you need to do is either one of these two, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, in terms of that, oops, wrong thing. Very cool in terms of how free to play it is. Only 60 pulls to get a character, and obviously you can guarantee them to SS rank, as I mentioned before, with Pain Cage. And then to get a weapon, you can actually just do 30 pulls. There's an 80% chance, so if you do fail it, you can use that dupe weapon, or sorry, dud weapon that you don't need to use for resonance on the weapon that you want to use because it's guaranteed after that fact, right? So yeah, like it's really good for that, for one weapon resonance, which you really want on your character anyways, so that's fine. And then your cub, which is a 20 puller, so you can basically, if you add it all up, it's 110 to 140. You get like a full set character, and they're like just good. They're good. They're fine. They're done. Well, obviously you have to grind for the other stuff, but like you're set in terms of gacha. You're done. Now, the other really cool thing that I've noticed in this patch is now you can actually get Gen 2 characters with using these. So these basic construct RD tickets are very easy to get. They like pop up like almost every week with a weekly event that I will probably mention in a bit, that I actually haven't done this week because I'm lazy as fuck. But yeah, you get Gen 2 characters. So all the way up to, I believe, Luminance. I believe Imperia is the first Gen 2 character. So all the characters from here are meta characters at the moment. So from, I was about to say Luminance again, Imperia to Feral, they're all meta characters. Obviously in different elements, and some of them are attackers, some of them are amplifiers, some of them are tanks. I wouldn't recommend getting the amplifiers at all unless if it's Feral, because she is not a free one. Regardless, very cool that this is like a thing. It's also the same, 1 out of 60, sorry, 1 out of 60, 60 pulls. I just read out 1 out of 60, but 60 pulls to get the character, and you get an awesome S rank character. So any of the attackers are really good. I highly recommend just getting Crimson Weave because she is still a meta character to this day, and even the other patches later. Bianca actually got a leap, so she will be pretty good for later on as well. And yeah, regardless, very free to play game. I do kind of half rescind what I said in my last video, but I still do agree that there is that slight trap if you do feel and have the urge to be like, want to play this game more. Which I have that, and it does suck, but I have a lot of spare money. So if you have spare money, sure, go ahead. Yeah, anyways, monetization done. So I think I'm going to be going to the outro now. And yeah, just going over what I talked about in this video, this long video. Okay, so to top up this very long video for me, I haven't done an hour video for a really long time. So this game, really good. I would recommend any action game player, especially Wuthering Wave players, to play this game just because, well, firstly, the gameplay is amazing. It will be a slow burn, so if you don't like a grinding game, just okay, maybe not for you, but I think if you just take the time to play it and just go through it, slowly progress. It's not actually that slow, but you know, slowly progress, upgrade your characters, have fun with your characters, start building your meta team, start like getting towards the pain cage, getting higher scores on Warzone. You'll highly enjoy this game, even if you don't pay money or anything. Getting the skins also makes your enjoyment a little bit more because they do really good skins. Music is amazing with this game. The music is awesome. I'd highly recommend just going on YouTube, or it might even be on Spotify, I don't know, searching up Vanguard sounds and listening through PGR stuff. PGR has their own songs as well, not by Vanguard Sounds, which they're on their channel as well. So those are also all really cool, and I recommend just listening to them. Alpha's first one before her Crimson Weave was that song is hella cool. I love guitar. That is such a cool song. But anyways, regardless, this free-to-play action game that doesn't earn much money because it's so free to play and it's so small and it's so niche and it's so challenging. I love this game so much. If you love challenging games, do play it. And yeah, if you made it to this end of the video, my god, you're a trooper. Thank God, because this took me like 5 hours to make after a work day. So I much appreciate it if you give me a like or a sub if you like this video. Give me a criticism if I've missed something, or if you just have something to criticize me about. I'll argue with you or I'll accept it. Either or. I don't really care. But yeah, like the video, subscribe, give me feedback. Please do. I'll end it here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.